It's been a while, you guys. I'm sorry. It's been a while. I've been really busy. Till school was out, and now I'm so tired. I didn't sleep last night. So yesterday, I took my medication at around 10 o'clock because I wanted to be a little effective after the kids went to bed. So I took it about 10 o'clock in the morning. And so, I went to my room, I took my vitamins and my medication and left the room and was like, I know I grabbed my vitamins. My vitamins are out here. I know I had my vitamins in my hand when I walked back there, but I can't remember if I actually opened up my medication bottle and actually got a pill out and took it. Did I take my meds? And I was like, well, I'm not just going to pop another one. I'll give it an hour, see if I can kind of feel the effects, and then I'll take another one if I haven't felt the effects. I didn't take into account the fact that I didn't sleep very much the night before because my husband and I were up binge watching TV because I guess. And when I haven't slept much, my medication is very ineffective at actually helping me focus. All it really does is keep me awake. So it's pretty useless. And I didn't take that into account. So after an hour, I was not feeling like I had medication in my system and kind of forgot about it. And then, well, it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, not really an hour, but I didn't feel like I had medication. So I took medication. So I took 2 pills of Adderall yesterday, which means I did not sleep last night. They finally wore off around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm beat. And I had a big to-do list today, and I'm trying so hard to get it all done. But honestly, this might just be a self-care day because I didn't sleep well 2 nights in a row. I'm gonna make sure I go to bed early tonight. I might just sit and watch TV and play Xbox all day. Honestly. I plan on reading with my son a little bit, have some connecting time with him, and I plan on painting with my daughter after my other 2 go to bed because she's been asking for me to paint with her. But other than that, I'm thinking this is going to be a self-care day. Just lazy, just I don't want to do nothing. I might fold my daughter's laundry because there's only 1 basket left to fold, but other than that, so, anywho, I got a head tattoo, as you can see, for graduating my EMT course. I haven't told you guys about that. Those of you that are on my TikTok know, but I graduated second from the top in the class. I think. They don't have our end score. It's like a bunch of little scores. Like the scores of everything, and so I just did some mental math real quick and tried to add them up. So second from the top, and I had the highest grade on the final, and there's only one. The first 2 exams I had the second highest score on the exams, and the last 3 I had the highest exam score. So I'm pretty proud of that. I've never been a good student ever. I've always been really smart, and I'm not bragging when I say that. I don't think that's really a great thing. Average intelligence is where you want to be. You don't want to be lower than average intelligence, obviously, but you don't want higher than average intelligence either. Honestly, you don't. It sucks. But, I was always very unchallenged, and with my ADHD, I was never really I would forget things. I could never remember homework assignments. I couldn't remember well enough to keep a planner and keep track of things, and I've just never been a great student. Even knowing all the material, I never got better than C's or D's in school. I just never did, and it was no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do better. So by the time I was junior and senior in high school, I stopped trying because I got tired of feeling like a failure. It felt like no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get the school thing down. That's one of the reasons why my kids are homeschooled and not in public school. I don't want them to feel like that. I don't want them to feel like they're not fitting into the perfect little box, so they're failures. Anyways, see, that's my medicine not working. I'm trailing off. I was really happy. I could have cried. I could have cried. I was And this course was 6 weeks, whereas most EMT courses are anywhere from like 6 to 9 months. So the actually director of the program says he set it up that way on purpose because a lot of people go to EMT training before they go on to something more like nursing or whatever. Not a lot of doctors, but sometimes. And he said, if you can finish this course, if you can get through this course and know the material and pass this course, and not just pass it, but if you get an A in this course, then you can handle medical school, because he's a doctor, actually. So you can handle medical school. And so I think that was the best part of the whole thing, is I wanted to get the best grade in the class just because I wanted to be able to prove to my dad that I'm not a total fuck up. And to myself that I'm not a total fuck up. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm trying not to get emotional. I've tried for years to manage ADHD without medication, and I've been able to manage it enough that I can function as well enough as just as a stay-at-home mom or working my grocery orders. Get out of my room. Come here. My son's trying to steal Halloween candy. Sit on the couch. I could function well enough to like keep the kids alive and keep the house from totally falling apart, but couldn't thrive. I could get my bills paid, but they were always paid late. Like, I wasn't really thriving. And I tried to go back to school multiple times, and I would get A's on my assignments, but it was hard for me to turn them in on time or keep myself organized enough that I wasn't rushing at the very last second to get it done, and just, it's been really hard. And I want to say 2 years ago, right after my daughter was born, I was like, okay, no, I need to get once my fourth child was born, my daughter, I couldn't even function. I couldn't even get that level of function. Like, I couldn't even do that. Like, it was, some people don't get diagnosed with ADHD till they're an adult, or not just till they're adult, till they're a parent, because they can kind of get along and they can kind of make it work. And then when you add kids and other responsibilities into the mix, then you start to see them really struggle. And, that definitely was the case when we added the next baby to the mix. It was just like, I couldn't keep up anymore. When Judah was here, I had 3 kids and I kept up fine, but that had a lot to do with the amount of stress of taking care of Judah. Stimulation helps the ADHD brain. That's why medications are amphetamines. Because basically the way the ADHD brain works is we don't have enough dopamine to like motivate for motivation. Like, a typical person sees dirty dishes in the sink and that's enough to motivate them to clean it up. They don't want dirty dishes in the sink. That's enough. For someone with ADHD, that's not enough. Like, I could see dirty dishes in the sink and I'm like, okay, I should clean those. Like, there's like always this internal battle that goes on, and it gets harder and harder to fight that battle when you have more and more responsibilities and more things running through your mind, because I'm thinking about everything all at once. And so it just, when Judah was here, the level of intensity of his care was stimulation enough that I got by without medication. But Logan's was a perfectly normal little newborn, and I was a mess. I was such a mess. I couldn't keep up with anything. I think I was dealing with some postpartum depression too. It was bad. It was bad. But I started medication, and I just started the only medication I could remember my parents trying on me when I was in junior high, I think. And we kind of tweaked that a little bit, and it was like giving me a little bit of help, but not really helping. I was like, I don't want to get to a place of semi-functioning with medication. Like, if I'm going to be putting this stuff in my body, then it needs to be, like, doing its job. So we fiddled around with a little bit more, and I struggled with school still, and finally, I want to say earlier this year, I finally got on a dose of a certain one. I take Adderall now. I took Concerta before, and as much as we adjusted the dose, it wasn't doing anything really substantial until we got to the point where the dose was high enough that I was feeling like bugs were crawling all over me, and I was picking at my skin, and it was bad. So, Concerta, no, that's not going to work. So we tried Adderall, and we moved the dose around, and so now I've got a good dose of Adderall that works for me. And, I just went on this huge tangent, basically to say that now that I can function like a normal human being, it was nice to be like, oh, look, I can do it. I am capable. I can do this. Like, I don't need to, there's no reason for me to doubt myself. Like, I can do this. This medication just gives my brain the little boost it needs, and I can do this. It's not that I'm incapable, it's that my brain's wired a little differently, and I don't fit into the perfect little box that society has us all fit into. So some of the traditional ways that society does things don't work for me, unfortunately. So, yeah, I was really proud of that, and this is my graduation present. It's actually, as soon as I'm done this video, I need to clean it and aquaphor it again. It's due. I'm a little nervous, though, because it looks like I might have a little blowout around here and around here. I'm really hoping that's just bruising. I've only had it 2 days, though, so it might just be bruising. It might just be a darker bruising right there, but the fact that it's, I feel like that might be a blowout. So I'm like a little bit bummed, but honestly it doesn't look that bad. So I'm a tiny bit bummed that it's not perfect, but I also, who cares if it's not perfect? Life's not perfect, so. Like, my tattoo on my arm is not perfect. I don't know. I've never showed anybody online this, but. So if I lay my arm on, like, on my knee, like this, it's perfectly straight, because that's the position it was in when she tattooed it. But my skin's actually twisted a little bit. It's actually crooked. It curves down. And really doesn't bug me that much, so I don't think that'll bug me too much either. If it is a blowout. It might not be a blowout. It's entirely possible it is a blowout, though, because he was saying that I swelled. He was asking if I swelled with my other tattoos, and I was like, not really. Made a little bit of swelling on my wrist, but not really. And he was like, well, this is a much more sensitive area than your arms, so we would expect swelling here, but you are, like, really swelling. So then afterwards he said, I made sure there's enough ink, so hopefully, because your body may reject the ink with all the swelling that's going on, like, your body's reaction is pretty extreme, so it might reject the ink, so we'll do, free touch-up and everything. He was really cool. He said, I made sure there was enough ink in there, so hopefully, even if it won't fade hopefully it won't fade too much. So I was like, that's cool, but now this is happening. I'm like, oh, maybe in his efforts to make sure it wasn't going to fade, we got a little bit of a blowout. But, like I said, it's not that big a deal. I'm very happy with it. I would definitely recommend him to someone. He saw a problem, and if it's not just a bruise right there, then he saw a potential problem and did what he could to avoid that problem. And if it ended up causing another problem, I don't care. He did a good job. He did a good job. And he was cool with my son. My son came with me and sat with me while I had it done, and so we got to talk, and he got to have some one-on-one time with me while I was getting tatted, and that was cool that he was cool with that. And he wasn't, like, annoyed by him or anything like that. He was really cool. I would highly recommend him. Anybody who's local, ask me, and I will tell you who did my tattoo, so you can go to him if you want to. We had a death in the family. Blood-wise, it's not actually a super close relation. It's my father-in-law's cousin. Yes, my father-in-law's cousin. So no blood relation to me, and a little bit removed from my husband, but she was really supportive of me homeschooling and really supportive of me unschooling. She was really supportive. She worked at our charter school that we go through, and she actually helped develop curriculum there, and she was just a huge part of that. And when I had questions, I could go ask her. She helped me look at different ways of, without medication, helping my kids with their ADHD. Like, she was always really supportive, and we'd see her whenever we went for classes and say hi and talk to her, and she'd see the kids, and it's just, we weren't super close, you know, like we didn't have like an intimate friendship, but it sucks. It does suck that she's gone. And that happened the day before my second ride-along for school. So I have to go get, I had to reschedule it, so I have to go now this week, and I'm a little frustrated because I had a plan that I was going to go my ride-along this past Tuesday. I was going to take my skills test today, my national skills, and then I was going to be able to register for my written test, and I was going to be able to take that in December. But now, since that happened, got rescheduled to this upcoming Tuesday, and I won't be able to do, I don't know if I'll be able to, I don't know if the time's going to work, because the last date to register for the last written exam of this year is the 17th. So it's cutting really close, and I'm hoping I don't have to wait till next year to take my NREMT, because that would suck. I don't want to have to wait. So, you're interrupting, sweetie. I think that's about it for life right now. Of course, my meds aren't super effective because I didn't sleep, so I might be leaving something out, but... Oh no, there is something that I did leave out, but I'll have to make another video for it. I can't talk about it right now. In current company. But I'm working full-time again with Shipt, and I'm all signed up for the spring semester at school. And yeah. Although we make enough money now that we no longer qualify for fee waiver, so now I actually have to pay out of pocket for all of my classes, and that's pricey. So that's fun. So yeah, I know this was not the best and most interesting video, but I know I hadn't made one in a while, so I wanted to update you guys on what's been going on. I will try to update more frequently in the future.